quick note before we get started. You might notice there are a few strange glitches in the audio. Fortunately, the audio problems I had and some desync problems I had were minor enough to where I could make the video. However, these are the kind of problems that are why I haven't been making many videos recently and why it's taking me so long to make anything with Kerbal Space RAM, especially because I've noticed I've been having the problems a lot more with Kerbal Space RAM than other things. So yeah, that's what's going on. Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space RAM. Oh, I do have Kerb Inside installed. Oh yes, that is correct. I just couldn't update it. There were several mods that I couldn't update due to Kerbin stuff not working correctly right now. And by Kerbin stuff, I meant kerbalstuff.com, the website where I get mods. So today we're doing plane reviews again, and oh god, the Z fighting. Yeah, so this is the Battlestrike Mach 2 by one Mania Man. And Mania Man, if you're watching right now, you might notice that compared to a lot of the other reviews, I'm getting to your plane extremely quickly, and that's because I've decided to try a new approach to doing the plane reviews because it's been taking me so freaking long to do the reviews for everything that comes in. I'm just kind of going from the top of the list, aka the most recent thing, and working my way down. And this way, hopefully, I can feel like I'm catching up, or like, at least I can make sure I catch up slowly. Like, I'll make sure that, you know, every time I get one, I'll be like, okay, that's going in the next episode, plus at least one of the older stuff. And, yeah, that way, hopefully I can get through things quicker. And I know it's not exactly fair, but I'm just... So, yes, let's get started. This, has a lot of wings. That's the first thing. It's an interesting design because of that. I kind of don't like how the top is dipped in like that, but then again, you know, it's just a style choice, really. It's interesting overall. I really don't like how this is clipping out here like this. Like, it just, I feel like that could have possibly been done a little bit better, but, let's give it a fly. So, while waiting for that to load, I actually looked at the email that this came in. And it's kind of funny because he sent me 4 crafts, 4 versions of this plane, and then said, but you should only review the 5th one. Well, it's 2, 3, 3.5, and 5, and he's like, here's all these versions, but you should really only review the 5th one because the rest of them have issues. So, that's kind of funny. Specifically, the front landing gear apparently has some really interesting issues when it comes to putting it up and putting it back down. First off, I forgot to notice this in the VAB, because the SPH rather, because it's been a while. But your rear landing gear are not far too far back. Well, yeah, are far too far back, because see how we are gonna have to fall off the end of the runway to actually take off? That's because your rear landing gear are so far back that this plane cannot pivot on them to go and take off. Alright, let's see. Landing gear are closed. Now it's time to reopen them because apparently it glitches really weirdly with the front. Oh, it just does a little dip. Okay, let's put those back up and do a... Oh, I like how this looks. Do a flip. Yes, I had to pause it. Sorry about that. Interruptions, always interruptions. Yeah, I'm having kind of a good morning, but also slightly a bad morning. It's really weird, because I feel like things are going well, but then I'm also like, I just feel like shit. So, just in case things aren't the best, that is why, and I apologize. Oh yes, let's test its yaw. This thing yaws pretty good. Oh, you know what? I bet a lot of that has to do with the shape of the fuselage. So I yaw, and that brings me off-center, and then because of the fuselage being kind of bulky the way it is, boxy, the aerodynamics are really pulling on it to pull it to the side. Let's go ahead and take a look at those and see if I'm right. Because, yep, see, those, the fuselage really wants to pull it sideways like that, which is pretty interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the other revisions and then fly the Mark V. So, the Mark III looks about the same, except that the Mark III makes my frame rate tank for some reason. I think it has bigger vertical stabilizers, at least that's if I remember correctly. Of course, my brain is not necessarily the best at remembering things, even for a few split seconds. Also, you know, it just occurred to me how many struts are on this thing. I really doubt it needs that many. Why do you have so many struts on it? Have you been messing with Time Warp? Also, I just noticed the frame rate is fine here. Well, now it's not. The frame rate had more issues. Oh, I don't know what's going on with the frame rate, really. All I know is that I normally have better frame rate than I'm having right this moment, although now it's a bit better. This is the 3.5, which again changed the vertical stabilizers again. Again changed the, yeah, totally did not just say again twice in a row. Seems to be about the only difference. And then the Mark V has the front landing gear lower, which will help with takeoff and make landing more difficult due to the difference in height of the landing gear now. Your landing gear on the rear should probably be further forward, but then again your landing gear on the front should be higher up. This is why something like adjustable landing gear, that Bahamuto mod, should really be part of the main game. So in any case, it should perform about the same, the only difference being maybe the vertical stabilizer being a bit different, and also the landing gear making it probably easier to take off. God, I really hate mushy peaches. I just got peach and it's really mushy. Ugh. In any case, time to attempt a takeoff with this version of the craft, which again, the only difference being the landing gear and vertical stabilizers. So let's see if this thing can successfully pull itself up off the runway without us having to fall off. Yes, it can, so that is definitely an improvement. It also, due to less clippiness with the front landing gear, does not have that strange glitchiness that the other ones do. And let's see how the yaw performs. I'm yawing as hard as I can, but not that. Well, yaw doesn't. I was trying to say yaw doesn't work very well when you're rolling as well, or at least, you know, you wouldn't notice the effects as much. And I have to say, I'm actually really disappointed with this version because the yaw. So it's essentially the same plane, except takes off a little easier, is probably a little more difficult to land, and does not yaw as well, which means really all you've done is remove performance capability there. Although, like I said, the landing gear placement is better for takeoffs, so let's see how well it is for landings. I'm not going to bother to land on the runway, because that would just take extra time, and I'm kind of, I'm not that pressed for, well, yeah, I'm not that pressed for time at the moment. Actually, wait, yes I am. Never mind, shh, I don't know what I'm saying. Oops, that's disabling SAS. Which I'm going to disable anyhow, because this thing flies pretty well without it. And it lands pretty well without it, too. Or rather, it lands pretty well with the landing gear as they are, which is good. And you saw me re-enable it for a moment, because this thing started to tilt in a way where it looked like it was going to roll over and crash horribly. Let's go ahead and do that by putting up the landing gear. Nah, I'm just kidding. I just realized you can make a plane just like bounce up and down by putting the landing gear up and down. I never thought of doing that before. Oh, bounced it too far. Yes, while I was trying to update and install mods for this video, I managed to get destruction effects installed again. Unfortunately, I could not get many of the other mods updated. And after a quick crash and reload, it's time to review the cleverly named Heavy Fighter Mark I by Drake/Jock Herman/ the random guy. I mean, yeah, the multiple names, person, friend of mine, and wow, man, I forgot how good the OPT spaceplane parts look. I haven't looked at them in a while. Has several giant Gatlings. Looks like some, are these the space missiles or like just long-range cruise? I think these are just long-range cruise missiles. And then we have Mavericks, or what are these? Yeah, they're Mavericks. I thought so. And a couple AIM-120s. Yes. Alright. So yes, this is a giant fighter is what it's supposed to be. And are just full of fuel, basically. That is just okay. I guess the adapter bit at the end isn't, but the rest of these are full of fuel. So it actually, oh, that one's not. It actually has a large amount of fuel on it. We also have 4 jet engines, a little what do you call it? The weapon manager, and oh, okay, I see how those work. Yes, very nice. Let's go ahead and oh, I don't like. There's one problem I'm going to complain about briefly, and it's the way. Actually, no, that looks alright. Like, at first I was, it looks slightly out of place, but it doesn't look bad. See, this is something I keep trying to explain and people keep not quite understanding. I don't like part clippiness when it looks bad. Okay, this, see how this, like, it pretty much fits in with what it's around. Like, if you look here, this edge is a little weird. Like, it's a little weird when you get really close to it, but overall, and especially from further away, it looks like it fits there fairly well. Like, actually, from this angle, it doesn't as much. Like, right here, that looks a bit odd. But, you know, it's not that bad, but then there's other times where people have clipped things and it just looks really ugly, and I just don't like it when it looks really ugly. So, anyhow, now that I've attempted to explain that again, looking at the indicators here, looks good. Let's go ahead and give it a fly. Shouldn't be happening. Oh well, let's take off this way. Hopefully that does not cause a problem. Okay, looks like we'll be okay, since we've got it properly on the landing gear. Now we'll try and pull up gently without actually tapping the ass again, because especially now we're going faster, so tapping it would be a bad idea. Pretty quick takeoff, pretty good takeoff speed. Bit of lag. I'm not sure why that's happening. It's only 71 parts, so I really should not have a problem at all. Pretty good yaw control, although it does start to roll on its own, and I can't roll it back very quickly. I was informed when I was told about this that the roll is not very quickly. One thing I would recommend is setting these to roll, because if you're worried about it not being able to roll very quickly, those would definitely help. Let's see, so we have those using, those are acting as pitch only, the edges of the wings are acting as roll only, and then we have vertical stabilizers for yaw. Very nice. Alright, fairly slow right now, like while maneuvering. It is a big old thing though, so it would kind of explain that. It's heavy with fuel. Trigger, oh, they've changed the way this works. This is one of the ones I was able to re-add. Oh, wow. That is cool. I like that. I like... Oh! I haven't seen the new, This is very cool. Sorry. I'm being distracted by it because I haven't seen it before, and... What does ripple mean? I have no idea what this means. Let's, where's the fire button? There used to be a fire button in here. Like there's a button that I can just click. That worked. Bye-bye, missile. Those things are... Oh, yep, they're definitely cruise missiles. Look at that. Both the speed and altitude they're flying at, those are cruise missiles. Of course, they don't have targets, so they're just gonna kind of crash and blow themselves up. Oh yeah, that's a shorter range missile. It goes faster. Okay, now that we've dispensed it of all weapons except for our GAU 8, let's pull up, head back to base a little bit, and I'm going to look at the resources to see how much ammo we have. We have 2 internally stored ammo boxes of about how... Whoops. Hold on. There we go. Alright, 4,800 rounds to start with. Of course, oh yes, there we go. That is very loud. I just noticed this cockpit is very empty. I wonder if that's a bug. That is very loud. Oh my god, yes, I was hoping I could do that. This thing has enough firepower with the guns to blow up a building. Alright, let's see if we can blow up the VAB, and then I will stop it with this version, and with this plane, and go to the next one. I would definitely say that this craft is better designed for attacking ground targets than air targets. However, I would also say that this craft is overall very powerful. It definitely has its weaknesses, but it is pretty powerful. Yep, took out the landing pad and the VAB. Very powerful as a ground attack. Like I said already, I think this thing's best used as a ground attack, based on how quickly and easily it can decimate the Space Center. On a side note, I wonder if Bahamut realizes how much his guns are way too fucking loud. I mean, I'm sure it's on purpose, because it's the type of gun that should be really way too fucking loud. But the thing is, I almost wonder if it doesn't respect the master volume settings of the game, because it seems to me that they are way louder than they should be. In any case, lining up for another attack run, and I'll go ahead and start firing from way out here. Am I out? Oh no, I just overheated the guns. Oh. I'm sorry, I know this is a plane reviews thing, but I'm just having too much fun blowing up the freaking KSC, because this thing has amazing power in those Gatling guns. And I'm out of ammo. So, yeah, that's it for this one. We're done. Moving on to the next plane. I'm actually going to land it because I kind of want to keep the wrecked No, because how else am I going to blow it up again if I don't revert? So I know I said I was going to do a couple more, but I'm actually going to stop here because I've noticed that there is a desync problem that's going to happen when I'm going to edit this, because for some reason the video recording has decided to freeze a couple of times, and I don't know the state of that. It may have also broken some of the audio. So I'm going to try and fix it, because to go any further would just be tempting fate. In space.